Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tag. Good to see you guys again, and I want to bring you today my ANTUTU throttling test between the Mi 11 Lite 5G, the POCO F3, and the POCO X3 Pro. And we'll be testing out 3 different chipsets for the first time together: the Snapdragon 780G, the 870, and the 860. But before we get started, I do want to share some news, guys. Maybe you heard on Twitter yesterday, but Frankie Tech, I finally got it, a job, guys. So thanks once again for all your support and dispelling any kind of worries. No, the channel is not going anywhere, but I managed to get a great new role that's going to be helping with the content creation of this tech startup. And that door only opened because of the success of this channel. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all your support. You've been able to make this a reality, and of course that means maybe we'll see a few less videos per week here on the channel, but I'll still be able to cover the big releases and any other new devices that come my way as well. But anyways, guys, let's get to it here. The ANTUTU throttling test between these 3 chipsets. Let's have a look. And so here we go, guys. You know the drill. For ANTUTU tests, I'll be running on these phones in 23.9 degrees Celsius temperatures. And of course, I'll have the CPU monitor in the background, as well as my thermometer, which will be measuring the external temps of these phones. And we're running ANTUTU version 9.0.3. Disregard these scores, and let's go ahead and start test number 1 on these devices. Here we go. Alright guys, test number 1 completed, and these are the benchmarks: 520,000, 672, and 543. So clearly the 870 here is the most powerful chipset of the bunch. But this mid-range 780G has still performed very well, a step behind the 860, but now let's go to it. CPU monitor for these phones, 41, 48, and 42. And the ambient temps, 37.2. 36.2, 39 degrees. So the 860 in the POCO X3 Pro is the hottest, and I forgot to include the POCO F1 here, but it's keeping time now, just a couple minutes behind. This test should take around 40 minutes to complete. Let's go to it. Test number 2 on these phones. Here we go. Okay guys, test number 2 completed, and here are the scores. And look at this, the POCO F3 actually dipped quite a bit here, so pretty surprising. But you know, either way guys, let's check the CPU monitor for these phones. They should be pretty comfortable. And measuring the ambient temps, 36.2, 36.5, 37.4. But so far, the 780G has performed pretty well. It only dipped 3,000 points there from the first test. But let's go to now test number 3. And I don't know why this one is doing that, but here we go. Okay, test number 3 completed, and there you see the results. 516, 673, 469, and these phones are getting hot. They're starting to dim their displays immediately. Checking the CPU monitor of these phones, 41, 47, 52. Once again, the X3 Pro and the Snapdragon 860 is the hottest chipset of the bunch, and that is a bit troubling considering these phones are staying so much cooler, you can see. Checking the ambient temps, 40.5, 38.5, 41.5, so definitely getting hot. And the POCO X3 Pro is actually dipped the most right now on these phones, so I think it's going to come in last place here. But let's see which of these 2 phones can deliver the best final result here in test number 4. Here we go. Okay, test number 4 completed, guys, and you noticed, I don't know if you did, Mi 11 Lite 5G did end up having to restart the test. So let's see the result though. Pretty good result. This chipset definitely did not throttle at all. What's even more impressive is that the POCO F3 continues to stay in this similar range, while the POCO X3 Pro definitely dipped the most. But let's go now to the CPU monitor for these phones. 45, 47, and 53. Biggest loser here, the hottest of the bunch, the POCO X3 Pro. And measuring the ambient temps, 43.5, 40.7, 41.9. And surprisingly, the phones did not dim their displays as much today, which is good to see. But that is it for this one. We'll stop the test there. And now let's talk about the final results. So here we go, guys. Pretty impressive results from a couple of these phones, but we do have a third place losing finish here for the POCO X3 Pro. Not only did this phone throttle the most, but you can see it here, it also got very warm, getting past 50, even 53 degrees in this test. And so unfortunately something you need to keep in mind when you're picking up this phone. And in second and first place, this is such a close one, guys, because both of these phones did a terrific job. Both of them stayed cool to the touch. And honestly, this is the first time I'm going to do it, but I'm going to give a joint first place finish to both the Mi 11 Lite 5G and the POCO F3 with the 780G and the 870, giving me really solid results. They stayed cool under pressure, and honestly, even this phone, despite having lower results than the POCO F3, really impressed. But the POCO F3 continues to impress. It has also dipped the least in terms of battery. While these other phones have moved from 77 or even 82%, this POCO F3 has only dipped 14% in this test. But it's still not enough, and I award the tied first place win to the Mi 11 Lite 5G and the POCO F3. But hit me up in the comments. Which of these phones impress you more, guys? The Mi 11 Lite 5G with the 780G or the POCO F3 with the 870? And what do you think of the POCO X3 Pro? Is it just overheating and just not really performing to the level that you expected? Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. And stay tuned, guys. I will continue to try to make great videos here on the channel. But I do appreciate all the support, and we'll be back again here with some great content on Frankie Tech. So that's it, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. Dual champs. Who would have known?